We just submitted our assembly job, and in this video, we're going to talk about monitoring the job progress and looking at the results. So the job has been submitted. It says here it's been queued. How do I find information about that job? My favorite place to go is to this jobs monitor down at the bottom. I click on that, and it takes me to my jobs page. You can also get to there from going to Workspace to My Jobs. Now you can see that this genome assembly that we just submitted is currently running. But if we want to look at a job that we've had success running, I'll narrow down mine because I have a lot of data in my workspace. And under this All Services, I'll click on the down arrow and click on Genome Assembly 2. Here's the job that's running, but this is a recently completed assembly job. So let's look at what it looks like when that job is complete. So I select this row, and notice that as soon as I select the row, some information appears in this vertical green bar. It shows me how I can view the job or report an issue. If you have a failed assembly job, we want to know about it. So you need to do that. But this job completed successfully. So let's click on View Results. Okay. So in this upper box, it gives us the information about the assembly job, how long it took to run, when it started, and if I click on the parameters box, it's going to show me the data that I submitted and the information about that job. But the main thing you want to look at here are these things. The assembly report, and this is the contigs file. These are the assembled contigs, and then we'll talk a little bit more in detail about these, this particular folder with details. But the most valuable thing to me right now is this assembly report. So let's click on that, and then we can click on View. And this takes us to the genome assembly report and gives me information about it. It tells me what reads I put in for that particular job, what assembler it chose, how long the job took, more information about the config FASTA size, the command line. It also provides a QoS report here, which is the QoS report is a quality assessment tool for evaluating and comparing genome assembly. And you can dig into details. It provides you with a lot of different tables and figures that you can march through to look at how good your assembly is. But one of the main things you want to see is how many contigs you had, how many contigs of each size, the total length of the genome. So it gave us a total of 63 contigs. Remember, we had selected the default was contigs greater than 300 base pairs. And it tells you the largest contig and the total size. And these are figures that you could put directly into a publication when you're describing the assembly. It's telling you if it did any post-assembly transformations on this for pylon, if it did any trimming. It's looking at the contig filtering, how many contigs were above the thresholds. All 63 contigs were above both the minimum contig length and the coverage threshold. And it also gives you, I mean, I don't know how useful this is, but I really like looking at the bandage plot. So it's showing you what the assembly looks like and how it all went together, and I like that a lot. To get back to the information about the job, we've got this breadcrumb across the top, so I can click here if I want. This will show me the contigs file Now this contigs file is already ready to be annotated in PATRIC, so you would see it directly in the annotation service, because as you can see, it's correctly tagged. If you wanted to download the contigs file and see what it looks like, see if it'll open it. That's what a general contigs file looks like. Let me open this up a bit so you can see it more. And maybe I should increase the view. Oh, that's pretty big. It shows you the name of the strain, gives you the number of the contig, tells you how long that contig is, and what the coverage and the normalized coverage score are. So that's generally how we report it in PATRIC, is on a contig by contig basis. And the sequence, of course, begins on the second row. Now, you could, if you need more information, we like to give you everything, but we don't like to have a huge number of files in the immediate. These are the two most, what I think are the two most valuable files. But you can also look on the details file by clicking on this folder. And this shows you all the different data that you can get. The assembly graph, which is that bandage plot, you can get it in two different formats. This is the computer logs about the assembly. These are different versions of the cost report that you can look at, the transposed cost report. And we also provide a JSON file. Now, a JSON file is the file that stores simple data structures and objects in JavaScript object notation, which stands for JSON. And it's the standard data interchange format. It's primarily used for transmitting data between the web application and a server. This isn't recommended for you to view, it's for a computer to view, but it's here and you can look at it. And we also provide the unicycler log file for each time it's run. Once again, this isn't recommended for viewing, but it is downloadable and viewable. So this is the kind of information that's available with your assembly. And congratulations, if you get to this point, you had a successful assembly. And so you've learned how to upload files, how to load the reads, how to choose the correct parameters, which includes the correct recipe for assembly, submitting the job, and then looking at the download files. So the only thing left to talk to you about is what to do when you have a problem, and that will be in the next video. Thanks.